Welcome to Star Citizen and a ship guide. This light fighter is one of the underdogs in the game and at the same time still classified as a starter ship. Therefore, the Misc Reliant Tana offers some special features which are not only in the optics. The Reliant series consists of 4 different variants. The core as a light freighter, the Mako as the only ship for reporting, the San as a science ship and the Tana as a light fighter. Dedicated guides to the other ship variants will follow at a later date when the respective ship category is in a test focus. The Misc Reliant Tana is a light fighter in the small size category and is also a starter ship. The optics is unusual and Misc typical, rather roundish-held. Especially the width or height, depending on the flight mode, stands out in terms of dimensions, which are somewhat larger than other light fighters. Components are as usual in this category in the size small, but the Tana has a second shield generator. A novelty is a cargo capacity of 1 SCU. With 870,000 USC in-game or $75, the Tana is a real bargain in comparison and can be bought at New Deal in Lorville or at limited events in the Pledge Store. The armament has also typical for Misc its peculiarities. In standard loadout, the Tana comes with 2 Size 3 gimbaled and 2 Size 1 fixed laser cannons, as well as an enormous missile arsenal with 20 Size 2 missiles. And as one of the few light fighters, the Tana has interior space. 2 beds, amenities such as a shower, toilet and basic food supplies are provided, as well as an internal weapon rack. Of course, the cargo capacity of 1 SCU as well as enough space for smaller boxes and items complete the clean and modern look of the interior. Passing the access to the internal ship components, one reaches the cockpit, where besides the pilot, also the co-pilot finds his place. The co-pilot has optional control over some of the weapons. And at the first start of the Tana and switching to flight mode, we see the biggest feature of the Reliant series, the variable flight modes. The speed of the Tana is with 166 meters per second combat speed and the maximum speed of 1150 rather as below average to classify, and lies here rather in the range of clearly larger ships. The damage potential in standard loadout is below average with 994 DPS. Really outstanding is the damage in the recommended loadout. Here we reach 2465 DPS, which corresponds to a $175 freelancer miss. In the alternative neutron repeater loadout, we also achieve a strong 2135 DPS with a high alpha damage of 753 points. At the standard size 3 hardpoints, we can optionally use 2 size 2 fixed weapons, which we recommend in any case and also leads to the specified damage values. Due to the exposed cockpit position, as well as a complete glazing, we have an excellent cockpit view, but have to do without an ejection seat. The Reliant series has 2 flight modes, with the hull rotating around the cockpit. This creates situational variability, which can give the Tana advantages in flight and in combat. A prerequisite is of course the purposeful use of the wing position, since here the silhouette, thus also the hit zones of the ship can be changed. The minimal cargo space is mainly suitable for valuable cargo, for example, drug smuggling. Since the Tana is considered as a starter ship, extended deployment times and costs are eliminated. In the medium term, a bigger plus. Let's move on to the combat capabilities of the Misc Reliant Tana. As mentioned, the Tana has impressive firepower, assuming a fixed loadout with the optional 2x2 size 2 wing weapons. To this is added the equal impressive missile arsenal with 20 size 2 missiles and the damage potential of a good 75,000 points. That's another 50,000 damage points more than a Cutlass Black, for example. It is therefore obvious to compare it with the freelancer Misc, which also comes from Misc. The pilot damage is on the same level and the missile payload is also outstanding. However, the Freelancer Misc is a good $100 more expensive. Therefore, for me, the Tana is a mini freelancer and an absolute and explicit recommendation to all who prefer the firepower and missile arsenal of a Misc for combat. Even though the Tana is less agile and maneuverable than other light fighters, it is a true maneuverability master compared to a freelancer. In the PvE area, the Tana's agility and thrust are completely sufficient, but it must be clearly mentioned here that it performs noticeably worse in comparison with all other light fighters. However, I would like to point out that the Tana is a starter ship, is accordingly cheaper, offers some features more than all other light fighters, and still has a admittedly minimal cargo hold, and by the way, it is the smallest entry into a multi-crew ship, with which you don't have to hide from any PvE opponent. The Reliant can be used for more than just combat missions. Delivery missions, exploration and multi-crew are possible and easy to accomplish. The costs and claim times are very low and we can log in and out. A true multifunctional artist, so to speak. Cargo missions are of course not worthwhile due to the 1 SEU of capacity. However, drug smuggling is currently already offered in the area of SLAM. Here the cargo capacity is absolutely sufficient. Alternatively, we can always use storage space, even if it's not sufficient to load any ground vehicles in the case of the Tana. For this purpose, the cargo space is clearly too small. The 20 size 2 missiles of the Tana are another plus point, and here I'm talking about a clear point. We have more missile damage than most of the medium fighters. Other light fighters, with the exception of the Shrike, have absolutely no chance in this area. And therefore, the Tana is also a useful addition against larger targets and in fleet formations, since not only the weapon damage, but also the missile damage is clearly above the category of the light fighters. Here, 2 missiles can be used at the same time, with a range of around 2000 meters, depending on the type of the missile used. I would classify the combat capabilities of the Misc Reliant Tana as excellent, in weapon damage as well as in missile damage, provided the standard loadout is replaced accordingly. Links for the recommended and alternative loadouts can be found as usual in the video description or for all other ships in the loadout section in our Discord. Have a look at it. Let's move on to the next section, the atmospheric flight characteristics and our conclusion. As already in zero gravity, the Tana has to fight much harder in the atmosphere than other light fighters. Here the comparatively low thrust and as well as the spongy change of direction have a negative effect on the flight behavior. You still have the feeling of sitting in a light ship, but not in a light fighter. I would therefore describe the flight feeling as rather spongy, but always controllable. Let's come to the conclusion of the Misc Reliant Tana. The positive points are manifold: enormous damage potential, cargo capability, BATS, missile damage XXL, amenities, space for a co-pilot, good hit points and a second shield generator. However, negative points are also present. The Tana is rather slow in every area and comparatively less agile and maneuverable, offers a lot hit area due to its sweeping wings, accelerates rather leisurely, and due to the design we cannot leave our co-pilot seat in quantum flight. However, we are testing a relatively inexpensive entry-level ship here compared to specialized and dedicated light fighters. Hence my conclusion on the mini freelancer Misc as an underdog: the Tana is clearly underrated. I hope you enjoyed the video and leave me a like and a subscribe here. The Tana is one of the most exciting ships that I have tested so far because it is a light entry-level ship and at the same time as a light fighter, equipped with all the amenities and benefits of larger ships. Therefore, an absolute recommendation for beginners and all those who are looking for a small and extremely powerful ship. And for that, the Tana is very cheap with 870,000 USD in-game. And of course, there will be several giveaways for March, among others an Origin 300i, an Origin 100i and many other prizes in the Twitch streams, here on YouTube as usual or in our Discord. Just have a look. And if you don't want to travel alone through the verse and are looking for like-minded people, then check us out in the Royal Retirement Lounge. We are a very relaxed community and always looking for new members. And by the way, we are still looking for an English community manager. Just get in touch with us. The most important, as always at the end, a big thank you to all Patreons, channel members and Twitch subscribers. Your support motivates immensely, and without you the whole thing wouldn't be so possible. I say thank you and see you soon. I say goodbye until next time, and as always, see you in the verse.